As part of the Progressive Farm programme, we're here today on the farm of Martin Davin, just outside Rathdowney in County Laois. We caught up with Martin and his breeding advisor Shane Lean to discuss the breeding policy that they implement here on the farm.
My name is Martin Davin. I'm farming here in Agriland, Rathdowney, just near Port Laois. Calving normally kicks off around the 1st of February, but you'd always have a few that go early. So last year we had 90% calved in 6 weeks. The system has just kept as simple as it can. So we generally finish calving around Paddy's Day. All heifer calves are kept, and the bull calves, then there's a man that's been buying off me for a number of years. Between 3 weeks and a month he'd come and collect. We've got the herd into a position now where we can focus on solids. Production is fine, so we don't need to focus on production anymore. A good solid is good fertility, and a good beef calf for the guy that's buying the bull calves now is most important. Seven Shane have been working together for the past 6 years, so from the start we focused on solids rather than production. It wasn't a high producing herd, but it did produce a lot. So we had the production, so now it was fine tuning the production and just getting the solids up to where we want them to be.
I've been working with Martin Davin here for the last number of years. Myself and Martin would have frequent conversations over the phone and on farm visits in terms of the primary objective to improve the system and to improve genetics of the herd. The herd here is one I would describe as a simple system, a profitable system, and above all a sustainable system. The key drivers of that is the genetics that are at play here, the level of management that is also at play here in terms of herd health, animal husbandry, and above all grassland management, which is a key fundamental part of the system in terms of its sustainability. In terms of performance of the herd is performing exceptionally well over the last number of years. It's averaging 550 kilos of milk solids, and that ranges from 530 to 580 kilos of solids, depending on the year. Last year being a prime example of how difficult weather conditions and challenges affected farmers right across the country and affected performance. In terms of fertility, the calving interval here is 363 days, with a 6-week calving rate of 93%, so exceptional fertility is being achieved. The key focus within our breeding strategy and selecting bulls is all around fertility, because that is the backbone of the system here. In terms of genetics, when we look at the genetics of the herd here, it's a high EBI herd, and that is a key focus when we're selecting our team of bulls. So we look at overall EBI, but within the EBI we look for a balanced approach in terms of production and fertility across all traits. And also we look at the production traits, and within the production traits we look at kilos of milk solids in particular, and also fat and protein percentages. That's very important for us. So if I take an example team of bulls I've selected for Martin this year, there is such sires as Kingman, Mojo, Grand Slam. So the average team represents 349 on overall EBI, a production sub-index of 117, a fertility sub-index of 153. And in particular, when we look at the production traits, we average 33 kilos of milk solids, 0.34 fat and 0.21 protein. So it's an exceptional team driven mainly on percentages and kilos of milk solids. And if we take Martin's current position, his herd is averaging 4.38 fat and 3.58 protein. And if we were to increase that to 4.5 fat and 3.75 protein, we can add an additional 3 cents per litre. And that equates to about 15 to 17,000 euro, which is a substantial amount of money that can be generated inside the farm gate for no additional work, just simply selecting the correct sires, the correct breeding traits to breed better fat and protein for the herd. So it's a significant improvement. In terms of how we go about selecting the animals for breeding, we look at the information that's available in terms of milk recording data and also the genetics that's available through Herd Plus as well. So we combine those two pieces of information to select our animals for breeding. When we have that done, the remainder of the herd then is bred to superior beef sires, and this year Progressive Genetics has launched the Premium Plus Beef Sire Programme, and that programme basically represents sires that are easy calving, short gestating and have superior beef quality in terms of carcass and conformation. So that has the objective of breeding a high CBV value calf, number one for the dairy farmer to have a more saleable calf, but number two for the finisher to have a better animal in terms of adding more profit to their system as well. And in terms of technology, some technologies Martin has adapted here in the last number of years is genotyping, and the whole herd is genotyped, okay? And that has many benefits in terms of genetic gain and accelerating genetic gain, and it also makes my job a lot easier in terms of being able to identify the animals we want to breed from. And that again will accelerate the progress that we are making in terms of genetics. The second advantage it has in terms of when we're selling surplus stock, and when myself and Martin would sit down on an annual basis and look at the surplus replacements that are for sale, we'll easily be able to identify the genetics at a younger age that can be moved off farm and equally identify the animals that we want to sell.
The access to Shane is very important, because the first thing we do is make use of the technologies we have. So the first one is the milk recording. So we can go in and have a look at and see what's going on historically in the herd, cell count on production, fats and proteins. Then we can run in sire advice and you can see that the right bull is matching the right cow. With the advent of technology, it makes Shane's job and my job a lot easier. On the dairy beef side, it's important that we have the same guys coming back every year to buy calves, because you don't want to be going out looking for guys to buy calves every year. So yourself and Shane sit down, and be it an Angus, a Hereford or a Frisian, you're looking at a superior beef carcass for that guys, with an emphasis on as much as possible on easy calving. So again, the sire advice will put the bulls to the cows. We don't end up with any problems calving then. It's actually 100% AI in the cows. I actually invested in collars a number of years. I think it's an 07 was the first system I bought, so there's been a few systems since. The technology is getting an awful lot better now. We have a really good AI guy, Albert Bailey, so Albert knows that I'll be finished milking at 8 in the morning. So once a day AI, he comes in, AI for up to 12 weeks. We've been milk recording on the farm since about 2010. The massive benefit is the SCC. Over the last 5 or 6 years, a selective dry cow therapy has become a big thing. So I think we're up about 70 to 80% here, depending on the year, on sealer only. But look, that can only be done with about 6 to 7 milk recordings in the year, because again, you have to know the cow's history. We've been using Agriland herd app for, I suppose, good to 10 years, maybe more at this stage. And all your milk recordings, everything is seamless. And we also use the Agriland herd app for registering the calves as well. It just makes life very easy. And you can also have a list of cows every day or every week, whatever you can go through. And because you have the AI, you have all your dates, so it makes sorting cows very easy for calving. We have a board B coming up, and once you record the information's there. The more efficient cow you have, the more cost effective you're going to be. Within reason, you try to keep costs under control, but it's taken a couple of years to get the herd where we wanted. I have the herd where I wanted, and I think, from now on, you just focus on your grass, focus on your cow, and the rest will look after itself.